Chaos boils in my veins.
Okay, so we'll start out, yeah, sure, we'll start out with a Potom game. Okay, get this replay paused at 2 minutes, and I'll show you how to effectively use Potom first, and then we'll go into all the DH games. Okay, this is one of the maps that I'm talking about whenever I say that Potom is really strong on certain maps. Secret Valley is one of them. Okay, not only because it's open, but also because when you go DH on this map, you're going to AOW creep, so you don't have an AOW in your base. And then, secondly, because of the healing fountain. And the healing fountain is extremely beneficial to people that go hunt, because when you go hunt, you basically have map control, versus when you go archers. And when you have map control, you can control those fountains, and you don't need to use your moon wells. So hopefully you see that this game. I don't think I ever watched this game through. But I'll talk about why I'm doing what I'm doing and why it's effective. So, like I said, get it paused at 2 minutes against Nagash, Secret Valley, 2 minutes. I'll give you like 2 seconds to get that queued up. You see, I didn't even scout. Sometimes I don't even scout when I go Potom, especially when it's on a 2-man map just like this, because you're going to run to the opponent's base no matter what. And it doesn't really matter what they're doing, you're going to do the same thing anyway. Now when you're going Potom, there's like 2 different things you could do. You could either go 1 AOW hunts or 2 AOW hunts. When you do the 1 AOW hunts, you usually tech to Dryads and you Expo at the same time. And that's a good strategy as well. And I think I might have done an audio on it once, but I'm not sure. But anyway, if there's a big outcry for an audio, I'll do an audio on that strat. I do that strat really well too. Okay, so 2 minutes, Secret Valley. My perspective, Fog of War off because I'm going to be talking about the code things. Let's do this at 2x speed so I can get through as many replays as I can. So 2x speed, 2 minutes. My perspective, and unpause in 3, 2, 1, unpause. Okay, so here it should just be coming out. Take a look at his creeping. He did it relatively right. Thing is, when you're creeping this, he did one thing that's kind of wrong, and he took a lot of damage on his AOW because of it. I'm not sure why my Potom... Oh, I was chasing his Wisp. The reason I chased his Wisp there is because when you get to his base, that's all you're going to do is attack Wisps anyway, so if he has a Wisp in your base scouting, it's beneficial just to chase that Wisp, even if he does run it into creeps or whatever, because the less Wisps he has, the slower his lures are going to be or whatever. But anyway, getting back to what he was creeping, you shouldn't really attack that creep until your AOW is already in the tree. That way you'll take the least amount of damage on that AOW. Because what would have happened is, in Night Elf Mirror that's okay, but if you would have done that like against an Orc, a lot of Orcs will come right to your base, you would have lost that AOW against an Orc. Now I'm not him, so I can't say whether he would have done it or whether he wouldn't have, but yeah, that's it. So you'll see, I was gonna go 2 AOW hunts, but when I saw he was going DH, oh good, so when I saw he was going DH, I'm going to do this Potom 1 AOW with an Expo, and this strategy is really good. He did a really good job of blocking my hunt there, but then he moved his Wisp, so my hunt is going to get away. But if you'll take a look at where I'm building my Tree of Life, I'm building it up on that island. There's actually 2 places you could build it. You could either build it where I'm building it right there, or you could build it down below those trees, below the mine. Both places are good. Building it a little higher up, I think, gets it further away from his base, which is good, but like I said, both positions are okay. Now, when you're doing this strategy, you have to keep making hunts the whole time, and the way this strategy works is that Tree of Life will count for your next 10 food after 30, so that Tree of Life puts you up at that 40 food limit, and it allows you to make those couple extra huntresses that you will and most definitely need to defend that Expo. Because a lot of good players, I think, like he's going to do, I think he's going to pick a Naga. Yeah, but he saw my huntresses there, so he ran away. So he's going to pick a Naga and probably try and push my base. Now, against this strategy, Dark Ranger, you can either go Dark Ranger or Naga second. Both of them are really good. The thing is, when you go Dark Ranger, it stops him from making archers, and archers are actually a really good counter to Dryads, which is what your ultimate unit goal is going to be. Now, Dark Ranger is like the perfect counter to archers, because you can turn every archer into a skeleton in like 2 seconds, and then it's like the snowball effect, and they just all die, which is really good. But Naga Naga is probably the better overall hero, whereas Dark Ranger is the safer hero, because you'll be able to creep and get those skeleton minions and defend the expo no problem. You see I put up an AP, because against good players they will try and push your base with dryads, and if they do push your base and you have an AP there, all you have to do is focus the AP on his dryads and it'll stop his push immediately. You don't even have to be there, because he won't be able to kill it. Now, one of the ways to counter this, whenever I see other people doing this, I think there's actually a game where I play against someone that does this. But what you do is you use, before he has dryads, his dryads are always going to be a little bit later than yours. Not much later, but they'll be later by about 30 or 45 seconds. Now what you do is you use your Demon Hunter to burn all of the Dark Ranger's mana without attacking. Just kind of like what he's doing now, but he should have been doing that like 2 minutes ago rather than creeping that shot. And you burn all the Dark Ranger's mana, and then you hit once you have those first 2 dryads, and you should be able to win the fight, because his Dark Ranger's not going to have any mana to turn your archers into skeletons, and you're going to have dryads, whereas he isn't. Now the thing is, there is only that 45-second window while you have dryads and he doesn't. After that, he's going to have dryads and an expo, and you're going to be in trouble unless you're starting to win the fight. And you'll see he's kind of winning the fight, but not really. And you'll see once I realize now there's 2 different things that the other Night Elf can do. He can either mass dryads, or he can tech to go bears and then just try and out micro you with the staff and keep making bears. Now, because I saw he had like more than 2 dryads, if you see them have more than 2 dryads, then what you want to do is you want to use the 1 AOW that you have and get the archer upgrade and start making archers, and then pump dryads from the 2 lures. And and don't be afraid about going over 50 food either, because you're going to have to do that. And the reason you do that is because Naga is a bit of an AoE effect, but you're going to need scrolls and whatnot. But archers, like I said, are a great counter to dryads, especially with that range upgrade. Now you'll see I just kind of jacked him there, but even though I jacked, he did a good job of like backing up. So he backed up, and then I ended up getting ensnared, and I ended up losing the fight. So you'll see he still doesn't have an expo up, but he's not worried because he has a Demon Hunter with a greater healing potion. And while I say that somewhat jokingly, there is a lot of truth to it as well. A level 4 Demon Hunter with a greater healing potion and a heal scroll will not die ever. So you'll see he's pushing my base, and you'll see this AP start to go to work. I should be focusing the AP on the dryads. There we go. But he has enough units that he's going to be able to push that AP down. Now, if you take a look at the food count, it's 62 to 57. So I'm actually winning in food. But like I said, that level 4 Demon Man, coupled with the greater healing potion that he got, is a really tough cookie. Now, in this fight, the reason I was focusing that Naga is just to try and get him out of the fight. The Naga is the one with the staff, if you'll notice. He doesn't have a TP on him, so whenever you focus heroes like that, then you're pretty much sure to either force him out. When you focus heroes, you're going to force him out of the fight, or you're going to kill his hero. Now, one of those 2 things, both of them are good. The problem with focusing his heroes is you're going to take a ton of damage on your units. Now you'll see I did take a ton of damage on my units, but I did kill his hero, which kind of makes him back off, which is what you need to do whenever you have an expo. You need to get him out of the fight, especially when he has a level 4 Demon Hunter with a greater healing potion. Now you see I've had this expo up the entire time, and it has 7,000 left in it, so I've outmined him by about 3,000. Now I know he stayed at 50 food a little longer than me, but still 3,000 gold. And the only reason he's still in this game is because he has that level 5 Demon Man that is unkillable. Now, if I were him, I actually would have gotten level 3 evasion. I'm not sure what he got, but in this kind of matchup, level 3 evasion is great because he literally could just tank for like 10 minutes against dryads. Now you'll see, as these fights continue to progress, that Demon Hunter is keeping him in the fights. Which is one of the reasons why I go Demon Hunter every game now, because Demon Hunter's so good. But what ends up happening is as I kill off all his units, my units just start to overwhelm him. Now, in a game like this, I sometimes make fun of people because they have 0 macro whatsoever. You need to be able to make units while you're fighting. Now, you can tell this entire game was pretty much fighting the entire time. Now, if I wouldn't have been making units, I would have lost, and I have lost a lot of games that way, where I forget to make units. But that is easily remedied if you're just quick at making units. I use custom hotkeys. I know I've mentioned it before in my audios to make units more quickly. So anyway, here's another fight. I'm trying to drop that Demon Hunter because it does all of his damage. I think it gets away. Yeah, it got away with 50 HP, but what are you gonna do? And after that Demon Hunter is out, then it's pretty much my game. So at this point, pop heal scrolls at the right times. You'll see that Naga using the Forked Lightning on the archers, and then when he uses that Forked Lightning, I had to TP out because those 3 archers were at super low HP, and I can't afford to lose an extra 6 food.